Hi guys, today I wanted to walk you through an irrigation system that I'm building for all the new trees in my backyard. So I'll walk you through the steps on how I'm gonna put it together, and hopefully it turns out pretty cool. I just put in about half a dozen trees in the backyard, and I wanna make sure that they get proper water throughout the hot summer here in Arizona. I wanna make sure that I get that set up now that it's February and I've got a couple months to tweak it and test it and make sure that it's good before the hot summer rolls around here. So the setup shouldn't be too expensive. I literally spent about $65 on everything. I bought some splitters. I might only use one or two of these, and these are for 1/2-inch tubes. And I just need to put a split into one section of the yard so that I can make sure that I reach all the way around the backyard. And then these are the bubblers. They self-pierce right into the tubing. Does up to 13 gallons an hour, which would be plenty. I probably wouldn't plan on running it that much anyway, but it gives good coverage up to about 3 feet in diameter there, and specifically these are good for trees and bushes. Pack of 25 costs about 10 bucks. And then of course attachment for the hose, so you can put the tubing right in there and then hook it up to the hose. So I'll give you a quick tour of the backyard and show you where this irrigation system is going to go and where all my trees are. So let's take a little backyard tour. And here's some backyard cats that like to hang out. As you can see, we have a very big backyard here. The idea is to run a tube for water all the way across the fence line so that we can hit all of the trees and make sure that they're properly watered for the summer. So just in case you're curious, I wanted to walk through the types of plants that we have here in the backyard. We're here in Arizona, so the ground is very hard. There's infrequent rain, and having a good plan of action for watering or a good irrigation system that you can rely on is really important, so you can keep your plants happy and healthy. Here in the corner we have a Mexican fan palm. I've nicknamed him Pedro, and he has been thriving here in the corner. Here in the backyard we have a number of queen palm trees which were planted last September, so they've been in the ground about 5 months, and we're gearing up for the summer here, so we want to make sure that they have a lot of water because palms like moist soil. And short of coming outside and spending an hour every week watering, it'd be nice to just flip on the irrigation system and have the plants be taken care of. I also have a number of bougainvilleas here, which were just put in the ground recently, so they lost a lot of their foliage due to transplant shock, but there's some new growth coming in, so we're excited to see that. And these guys should be thriving really soon. And then I've also put in 4 bottle trees. These guys are tall and skinny. They grow up to about 40 feet, and I'm excited to see how they do because it'll add some really cool depth to the property. Before these trees there was absolutely nothing, just dirt and grass. So I was excited to put in some greenery, and hopefully they will grow up and add some real value to the property. All right, so what I'm trying to figure out here is how to take the end of this pipe, of this tube, run it to the hose, which is right there, and then I'll probably dig a little trench so that's not sticking out like a sore thumb, and then have it go with a split right there to the right to get these 2 trees, and then Pedro, and then back behind the shed, and then basically just run it along the fence line all the way here, probably to that corner. So I bought 500 feet of tubing, and hopefully that's going to be enough. All right, so I have the hose connector here with the tube. I just made a fresh cut because the end was a little bent. So let's see if I can get this to push in here. It seems like it's in there pretty good. At the end, I have a couple options. I don't even know if this is necessary, but it's typically not a bad idea to try to seal things up. But I do have some plumber's putty as well as some Flex Seal, just to, you know, spray around the bubblers that we put into the tubing, as well as the different connection points and splits, you know, just in case there might be some leaks. These you know, materials are relatively cheap, so that doesn't mean that they're perfect. So it might be a good idea to use something extra to seal them up. I'm digging out a trench in the ground so that the tube can lay flat in there and be protected from cross traffic, because there's an entry gate over there, and I don't want the pipe to get beat up over time. So I'm just gonna put a little trench in the ground and then run it along the shed, so that we can get the tube going around the fence line. All right, so we got the tube laid in there. We got a couple inches down below the surface, so just gonna cover it up now, and then we can move on to the rest of the build. All right, so I got the three-way split in to go along the fence line here. You get these trees, and then we're gonna go a few hundred feet around that way and hopefully finish it up. All right, I got all the tubing down around the backyard, and now I just got to figure out how to lay it flat and you know, attach those bubblers so that we can get the water flowing to the plants in the right spots. So I got it lined up along the fence, and because it's all coiled up, I have to make sure that it lays flat. All right, so we have these little bubblers here. You can see that they are threaded so that you can increase or decrease the water flow, and have the half-inch pipe ready to go around Pedro here. And I'm gonna see if I can put maybe one or two along the perimeter, and then work on getting these in around the other plants as well. You're supposed to be able to just push these right into the plastic, but the tubing is kind of thick, so I'm going to use a knife to pry a little hole. All right, so I finally got all of the bubblers in here, and what's cool is that you can adjust the water flow, as I mentioned. So if you have a plant that needs less water or more water, you can you know, make the adjustments. Back here is where I cut off the tube, and then I used just some metal wire to clamp it. So hopefully this will prevent any water from coming out here at the end, and only go you know, through the bubblers that we have set up across the backyard. All right, so now the moment of truth. I've got everything hooked up, and you know, got the irrigation tubing right here, regular hose, and then I actually have a mister system up on the pergola here. So let's go ahead and get it going. All right, we're going full blast. All right, we can see the bubblers are working perfectly. We got two of them coming out right here, but we got another 200 feet of piping to go around the backyard, so we'll see if it's working as well. Let's check on Pedro. Got these two working perfectly for Pedro here. Probably going to take a little bit of adjustment to make sure that they're in the right place, but you know, I would see these running maybe for 15-20 minutes every 2 weeks, and I think that would be perfect. The nice thing, as I mentioned, for bougainvilleas, for example, which don't need a lot of water, you can adjust these and just have a little bit of water coming out, or maybe even no water at all. I'm gonna leave this one off for now. We got the bubblers for the palm trees going here. I'm just gonna move this a little bit closer to the base of the palm tree. That should be good. Let's check on the sprinklers for the bottle trees here in the corner of the yard. These are going pretty good. I want to make sure we have a good radius because these should have pretty deep root systems over time. But for right now, since the roots are pretty close to the base of the tree, I'll just go ahead and move it. And then we'll check on this one, same thing. Basically, I'm just going around now and adjusting all of the diameter of the water flow so that I can make sure that it gets to the right place. Here's the end of the line. A lot of pressure here at the end, but again, we have it capped right here. No leaks or anything, which is perfect. So hopefully no issues over time with this bowing out or blowing out. Hopefully not. It is pretty thick piping, so we should be good. But I'm just gonna go ahead and leave this on for about 30 minutes here and give these trees some water. All right, so I'm basically done. I've gone around the back of the yard here and adjusted every single sprinkler for the water flow. I'm feeling really good about it. It is working perfectly. Hopefully it'll stand the test of time. I'm gonna get a timer that's coming in the mail. I just got a timer off of Amazon for like 30 bucks that allows you to do intervals of between 1 and 15 days, so that during the summer I can, you know, maybe set it for every week or two to run, because ideally I'm going to rent this house out and I don't want to have to drive back here and, you know, worry about the plants being watered and things like that, have to get into the backyard, just kind of a hassle. So this is the main reason that I wanted to set up the irrigation system, because normally I like watering plants, but again, it is time consuming, and I want to make sure that we actually have 16 plants here, 16 new trees, so I want to make sure that they all do really well over time and get an appropriate amount of water so that they can grow up big and strong. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and please give me a like if this helped you out. Thanks so much.